point, it's only 15.5 millimeters. That's 14% less than the previous Zen book. The weight is about 2.3 or so kilograms, which isn't that heavy. You know, probably about 5 pounds or so, or under that is what that is going to be. And so let me show you a picture of this Asus Infinity Zen book. This thing, I tell you, man, it looks slick. And this thing is coming out. They didn't say any release date, but I'm thinking most of the things that Asus has said is coming out is for later this year. Now, so let's go ahead and look at that, and we'll see why. Now, if you're someone that wants something that looks slick, that looks cool, this thing definitely is going to look slick and cool. And if we need to get our hands on it more to really be able to say, okay, it's worth it. Now, this is the Zen book right here, and this is that glass, Gorilla Glass right here. And you can see the light shining in it. And look at how the guy is holding it, you know, because they don't want to get any smudges on it. Have his palm right there in the corner and stuff like that. And that's my point. My point is, that's how you have to hold this thing so that it always looks cool like that. I don't know if people are going to want to do that. You know, here's that glass case right there, that Gorilla Glass right there. That's the lid that's going to be covering this bad boy. You know what I'm saying? And this was the Zen inside a glass case at Computex, which made, as you can probably barely see it. This black part here is Asus. It made photographs because the glass, the casing of the tablet is Gorilla Glass, and then it's inside glass. So you have reflection on top of reflection. So, you know, it's lucky we can give you that shot. But overall, this is going to be a very cool looking machine. This is going to be something that is very cool looking. And if you're someone who's into cool looking like me, you see, I'm the type of person that I will buy something like this because it looks cool. But my pet peeve with it is that it just attracts fingers like sugar attracts ants. I mean, as soon as you look at it, you drop 2 fingerprints on it right there. And then you're walking around, you always got to have some microfiber cloth in your pocket to keep it looking pristine. So, you know, I mean, I don't know. Is it worth it? You know, it just depends on you, and it just depends on how this thing is really going to be stacked up when it comes out. And as it gets closer to launch, we will give you more insight on it. Now, coming up after the break, we're talking about the Acer Liquid S1 Android phablet. That's right, Acer is in the phablet category as well. So if you thought Acer was just computers, no. Acer is coming out with a phablet. We're going to tell you more about that right after the break. Alright, we're back and we're pumped, and we're talking about, coming up now, the Acer. Now many of you know Acer as a laptop. Matter of fact, they're the 3rd largest PC manufacturer in the world. Yes, they bought Gateway. For many of you who know about Gateway, maybe you don't know about Gateway anymore because Gateway went by the wayside a long time ago. But they bought Gateway, And so they kept Gateway as a separate entity. And you don't really see too many Gateway computers out. I guess they probably phased that out and just absorbed Gateway into Acer. But Acer has been known for computers. That's what they've been known for. Well, at Computex last week, Acer announced their Liquid S1 phablet. Now, you know a phablet is a cross between a phone and a tablet. And this thing has a 5.7 inch, so almost a 6-inch 720p display. Again, we're gonna obviously we're showing you a picture of it. Now, the Acer Liquid S1 sports, according to Engadget, it sports this 5.7 inch 720 by 1280 pixel display. It also offers dual SIM options with and will be powered by a 1.5 gigahertz MediaTek quad-core processor and have 1 gigabyte of RAM. Now the phone runs Android Jelly Bean 4.2 version, the latest iteration of the operating system 4.2, so you're not going to get better than that. And the phone comes with 8 gigabytes of internal storage, which is expandable to 32 gigabytes via a micro SD card. Comes with a 2400 milliamp battery and is replaceable. And that's a key, because a lot of phones come out and their batteries are not replaceable, and so you're stuck with whatever battery life you have. That's it. This one is replaceable, and the phone sports a front and rear facing cameras, though the resolution of those cameras hasn't been, we don't know what kind of megapixel we're getting. They just released this, not released it, but debuted it at Computex. And the phone's user interface includes several tweaks, including Acer Float that allows several app windows to stay open so users can multitask without having to back out of one app to work on another. That's pretty cool right there. However, I want to know what kind of bloatware this phone is going to have. And for those of you that don't know, bloatware is the industry term for useless apps. You know, because a lot of phones, when you buy it, it has a lot of useless apps on it that help to take up the memory of the phone as well. So in the industry, that's known as bloatware. And we want to see how much bloatware this phone is going to have. But the ability to have several apps open at once, so you don't have to close an app. Because, you know, when using anything like an iPhone or whatever, one app is open. If you want to open another app, you have to close that one down. So whatever you're doing, you lose. You have to close that one down and then open up another. This Acer phablet is going to, with their Acer Float is what they're calling it. It allows several app windows to stay open so users can multitask without having to back out of the app in order to use another, similar to what the Galaxy Note does. Its multi-window feature, with its multi-window feature of the Galaxy Note. The Float app's shortcut can be invoked by pressing a key following which apps on a translucent screen float over the function being used. The Float app includes like camera, maps, calculator, notes. A float caller notification is also present to ensure that the user will not be interrupted by incoming calls that take over the full screen. When the call comes through, it's going to be translucent, so you can still see your app, you can still answer the call without having to lose anything. And when a call comes in, the float caller multi-window pops up, and the user can choose to take the call or reply with a quick message instead. Now the phablet also includes additional features like, you know, regular stuff like photo taking, video recording, editing, and creating media on this phablet. It includes a wide front shot mode that uses the front camera with 88 degrees wide viewing angle plus a 24mm lens to capture wider visuals if you want. So this thing is coming packed. It also includes a DTS powered studio sound offering richer experiences as far as sound goes. Now, the Acer Liquid S1, that's the name of it, the Liquid S1, will start shipping, according to Acer, around the third quarter of this year. So, you know, that's not too far, and it's going to ship in countries like France, Belgium, the Netherlands, Ukraine, Russia, UK, Germany, followed by Spain and Italy after that. They didn't really announce too much of a US launch date or anything, so this thing may not be coming into the US market. But as far as France, Belgium, Netherlands, Ukraine, Russia, UK, Germany, stuff like that, that's where this phone is going to launch in the third quarter. So I don't know if they have an unlocked version that's going to come out. And this price, they're going to be starting at about 350 euros for this thing. But I mean, for a phone like this that's going to have Google on it, that has this type of functionality, I really see Acer bringing this thing over. If it does well in those European markets, I really see Acer as bringing this thing over into the US probably by, I would say, second quarter of 2014. If this thing does well and debuts well in those countries, we could look to see Acer bring this thing over, especially in a limited market. Here in the U.S. So we just have to wait and see if this is something that Acer is, if Acer is primed to do. Because I mean, really, to be honest, Acer is not known here in the States, obviously, for their, they're not known for phones, they're known for computers. And so for Acer to release a phone here, it would have to do well overseas. And from the looks of this thing, this phablet, and we have a growing trend of people that like the bigger size phones. That's what the Galaxy Note is all about, those bigger phones. If people can take to this, which I think they will, then we're going to be able to get, at least in my opinion, we're going to be able to get this Acer phablet, as they call it, over here, sometime by next year. Now, talking about other things that came out at Computex, as we're rounding up this edition here of Tech Pulse. According to Slash here, the Asus once again has come out with a RT, they're calling it the Asus RT AC68U 802 AC router, and it promises up to 1900 megabits per second. That's what it's promising. Now, this thing ain't going to be cheap when it comes to shuffling files around your network and stuff like that. The Asus is saying their new RT AC68U router is it will look mighty appealing to a lot of people. The new 802.11 AC wireless hub may have a name that you're not going to remember, the RT AC68U. You're not going to remember that, but it's probably worth a second glance because this is a dual band Wi-Fi AC router that promises data rates of up to 1900 megabits per second. So of course, if you want to see those sorts of speeds, you'll have to be running obviously 802.11 AC in the house on all your devices, which is obviously unlikely to be the case right now. But still, it fits well with Asus's other Computex launches that they came out with, such as their Vivo PC Media Center that we showed you yesterday, which also has Wi-Fi AC built into that thing. So this thing says that it has 150% greater coverage than other wireless modems, and it's possible to sync up to 2 routers in sync mode with this thing, with files stored on a USB drive connected directly to the router, shared with counterpart routers. No PC involvement would be required. So we're just going to show you a little bit of this thing.